Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rec Chat, where students and professionals talk about all things in collegiate recreation. I'm your host today, Stephanie Calhoun from West Virginia University, where I'm a coordinator for competitive sports. Thanks for tuning in, either live or via our archived YouTube channel. Joining me from behind the scenes today is Max Miller from Swarthmore College from the Rec Chat team, where we're excited to have the NIRSA Student Leadership Team with us today. For those of you following via Twitter, we're recapping the conversation via the next 2 weeks during our using our handle Rec Chat. So before we begin, we have a couple of announcements, and we want to introduce our panelists. So we want to also give our gratitude to our friends at NIRSA HQ for their support. If you haven't already, be sure to give them a follow with their Twitter handle at NIRSA Live. So while you're at it, make sure you give us a follow as well, the Rec Chat team on Instagram, and our handle is at Rec Chat. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started and introduce our panel. So from the student leadership team, we're going to have them introduce ourselves. So if you'll all introduce yourselves by giving us your name, your position, the institution, and your favorite season.
All right. Hey, guys. I'm Cheyenne Klaus. I am currently the NIRSA student leader. I am a second-year graduate assistant for fitness at the University of Mississippi. And my favorite season in Mississippi is winter. There's cool mornings, beautiful days, and cooler evenings. It's kind of like fall everywhere else, but in the heat of Mississippi, definitely feels like fall. The heat's great, but it's nice to have some relief.
Hey, I'm Michael Brito, Region 1 student leader from Rowan University. For my favorite season, I like spring because of the sunnier and longer days, great weather, and it's not too hot outside.
Hi there, I'm Juliana. I'm the Region 2 student leader. I'm the graduate assistant of competitive sports at the University of Alabama. My favorite season is fall because I love hoodie weather.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bailey Adams. I'm the current Region 3 student leader. I am the graduate assistant for intramurals and officials development at Central Michigan University. My favorite season is spring because the days are getting longer, things are coming out to bloom, plants are coming out to bloom, and that means winter is ending.
Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Harmon, and I am currently the Region 4 student leader, as well as a second-year GA at the University of Arkansas for intramural sports. And my favorite season is definitely fall. I love watching the scenery change. I've lived in the Ozarks for the past 7 years, and it's always such a beautiful time of the year.
I'm Nick from Region 5. I am the graduate assistant of facilities and aquatics at Drake University. My favorite season is fall because I love the weather and I love Halloween and spooky things.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zach. I'm the Region 6 student leader, as well as the second-year GA at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for sport clubs and intramural sports. My favorite season would have to be winter, 100%, West Coast or East Coast. Love it all. The snow, playoff football, hockey season, and, of course, seeing your family over the holidays.
Hi, everyone. My name is Judith Owuswa. I'm currently the student coordinator of special events at York University and also the Canadian student leader. My favorite season is summer because I don't like cold whatsoever, even if it's coming from an AC. And I just like summer because it's just hot. I love sunsets, and you get to really do whatever that isn't snow related. So yeah.
Thank you all. It's really interesting hearing how different the opinions all are depending on where you are in North America. So thanks for sharing. So moving on to the next question, do you think you could all describe to me the first 50 days in the SLT in just one word?
I think we've been student leaders for 150 days, but I would say that enlightening is the one that comes to mind.
For me, I think fulfilling is the best word to describe the first 150 days.
First 150 days, a lot of networking.
I think my word would be educational.
My word, similar to Bailey's, is learning.
I will say motivating.
I would say interesting.
I think for me, it's definitely been extremely rewarding.
Thank you all so much. So as you're interacting with folks throughout the course of the year, be sure to ask them why they chose those words. It's definitely intriguing to hear. So moving on, I would be interested to hear from some of you what has been the biggest takeaway from your first 50 days on the student leadership team. And let's start with Cheyenne.
I think that my biggest takeaway has been learning all about what NIRSA has to offer. It's super cool to see all of the people from all over North America and even the world that are working on things that are all dedicated to the same cause that we are, which is making our field better. For students and professionals, I think that it's cool to see all these people working towards a common goal.
For me, it's being in this position, you learn a lot about your management and leadership style and what it takes to coordinate others. So in Region 2, we have 10 committees that we oversee. So it's definitely staying involved and staying engaged with all of the students as well as professionals.
So for me, the biggest takeaway is definitely hands down all of the relationships that I've already formed in this 150 days. Whether it's this group right here, the SLT, the full member network, or the students I get to work with through Student Lead On or the state student leaders, it kind of all plays into why I chose that word fulfilling. It's just very rewarding and is a little bit extra to have those great relationships added to this position.
I think for me, it's been a lot of scheduling and learning how much scheduling is key to time management skills, and that never stops developing over the course of a career. We've got a ton of new information coming at us as regional student leaders, and we're getting emails every day now, not only from our main jobs, but now our NIRSA positions as well, and the whole entire member network.
Awesome, thank you all. So moving on to the next question. Have you all been aware of any personal or professional growth that has occurred as a result already of serving on the SLT? And if so, can you talk to us about what that looks like? And we'll start with Michael.
Yeah, so growth for me has been steadily improving my time management skills, stress management, and just being aware of my communication methods with the different groups of people I work with.
I think for myself, time management for sure, kind of echoing Mike. I've learned a lot about my time management skills and kind of improved those in the first few months that I've been in this position, as well as event planning, because we all have to do that for whether it's state workshops or regional conferences, and then just kind of general leadership as well, just kind of learning about what do I look like as a leader, how do I lead, and kind of going along with that.
Zay, for me, it's been a lot of personal management skills that I've learned. This summer has been a big growing period for me in terms of learning about myself, prioritizing my responsibilities, organizing my schedule, and knowing when it's time to take a break from everything and just decompress.
I think for me, it's been being able to diversify my leadership skills. So with my graduate assistantship, I'm used to leading undergraduate students that are just using this job as maybe an opportunity to meet new people or make new friends across campus. But here, getting to serve as like that servant leader for the group of regional student leaders that I get to work with, they're already passionate, they're already highly motivated, hardworking. So it's a new group of people that I've had to lead, and it's taught me a lot about how to lead different people and just at a different level, because the way that I interact with the regional student leaders is so different than what I do on a day-to-day basis with my undergraduate students.
Awesome, thank you. So what would you all describe as both the hardest and the easiest part as serving on the student leadership team?
Yeah, Michael here. So I'll start with the hardest part. For me, that's been just choosing a few tasks to focus on and put my time into. Just because there's a lack of time I have with the GA and school and this position. So all the ideas that come through my head, I'm not able to do as I would like to. So I just have to pick and choose what's going to have the biggest impact. And then the easiest part is just knowing I'm not alone in this whole process and having these awesome people that I get to call and just text whenever I need to, the rest of the SLT members.
I would agree with Mike. I think that the easiest part has been the support and encouragement that I receive from my peers and from professional staff and from a lot of mentors that I have. The hardest part for me is trying not to micromanage and to get better at delegating. My vision with a project is just one person's vision, and I know that I have to remember that like the outcome will be the product of so many people's hard work and vision, and just remembering to delegate.
I think for myself, the toughest part has been not being able to dive into the projects that we get to work on, knowing that you have to balance the role of a GA as well as this position. So you can't dive in as much as maybe a full-time professional staff could. So that's definitely the most difficult part for me. The easiest part for me is kind of echoing what y'all said earlier about working with the rest of the student leadership team, as well as my state student leaders that I get to help supervise. And then my student lead-on coordinator, kind of going back to what Cheyenne said, they're all really highly motivated and they want to be involved. And so they make it really easy and really fun to work with them.
For myself, the hardest part is balancing. And I think that's mainly because there are a lot of changes that happened last minute for me. But just balancing the communication and different things that need to be done. But the easiest part that goes along with that doesn't make it too hard is, as everyone said, like completing those tasks alongside my fellow student leaders. Their support is like very much needed, so I really appreciate it. Yeah.
The job's a lot more fun when you have a great team, and it sounds like y'all not only have one as the student leadership team, but both in your region. So I'm glad to hear that. So moving on to the next question, what would you describe as the biggest shock that you have had while serving on the student leadership team? We can start with Katie.
Yeah, so for me, it's been a personal shock. So I feel that my confidence has grown so much in these past 150 days. We have so many outlets where we can share our ideas, where our opinions matter, and where we're making meaningful decisions that actually are part of a really big picture. So that's really helped me in my confidence, not only as a person, but as a future professional in this field.
I think the biggest shock for me, honestly, was how supportive everybody is, both on the member network and at headquarters. So that includes the fellow SLT members. But I definitely felt like I was in way over my head when I started this position. And once we kind of got to know everybody and I met everybody, it kind of helped me relax a little bit about the position. And I was looking forward to the year ahead.
Yeah, so I think it gave me a lot of confidence, and I've become a lot more engaged with not only my region, but the kind of the recreation field as a whole. I've reached out to so many more people that I might not have usually, and I've learned a lot more about what NIRSA does specifically and how it operates.
For myself, it's how much potential NIRSA has and how much more growing room there is. I was surprised because, when establishments are older, you think that there's not much room to like be creative, but we've been giving so much like growing room, and they're like, be creative, like you guys can do this, y'all can do this. So I really like how much potential they've given us and like how much room they've given us to be creative.
Wonderful, thank you all. So you have 150 days behind you and a handful of days still yet to come. What is on the horizon for the next 150 days? What are you looking forward to? What are you hoping to accomplish in the next 150 days? I'd like to hear from each of you, but we can start with Region 6.
Yeah, so in 30 days, our regional conference will be over. So those first 30 days after today, Will be a lot of planning, a lot of getting our regional conference ready, and working on a stellar student lead on with our student leaders from the different states in our region. After that, it'll be a lot of working with them on how we can make this region and NIRSA as a whole better for students and more engaged, and on my specific work teams on how we can express our ideas and get more people involved throughout the next 150 days.
Yeah, kind of similar to Zach, all of my energy and attention is focused right now on our regional conference. I'm heading out tomorrow for that. So hope to see all my Region 5 people over the next couple days. And then just really getting to engage the students of our region. We're pretty low on student numbers, I feel like. So I want to kind of up that and get people involved in NIRSA from Region 5.
Yeah, I'll echo what everyone has said so far, is that we're really looking to have a great regional conference coming up at the end of October in Tulsa, Oklahoma for Region 4. So looking to put on a good conference and student lead on there. And then I'm really excited to see like final products from what work teams have been working on. I know we've all been working really hard. So getting all of our stuff finalized, getting some things finished, I'm really excited for that.
I think a couple of things that I'm hoping to accomplish in the next 150 days. All of our Region 3 state workshops are coming up in the next month or so. So really looking forward to supporting the state student leaders and state directors and state associations with those. And then another thing, I'm just trying not to screw up Region 3 student lead on. I know it's a big deal in Region 3, so we're trying not to mess it up too bad.
Similarly to everyone else, I get to attend state workshops in Georgia and Kentucky, and then we have our student lead on combined with our Region 2 conference in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And then hopefully I get to attend some flag football tournaments this spring or this fall.
So for me, I would say I would love to have an effective and memorable Region 1 conference. We're in the middle of planning for that. I also like to further develop the state student leaders and continue working with them, and then just keep pumping out fire on our social media.
My mic keeps delaying, but I hope to have a successful student lead on with hopefully more people attending than last year. I also hope to involve our provincial student leaders a little more, because they do really want tasks and I'm trying to find things for them to do. So I hope they can get involved more as well. And again, as Mike said too, with our social media presence, hoping to grow that much more as well.
So for me, my next 150 days really looks like supporting all of the regional student leaders as they move through their busiest time of the year, regional conference season or state workshop season, kind of both. But then personally, I get to travel to the Region 2 conference and the Canadian Student Lead on. So I've never left the country before. So that's extremely exciting that I'm going to get to go to Canada and do all the things that they're going to do at their conference. I have a lot to learn about the Canadian region. I learned a lot during our summer meetings, but I'm thrilled to continue to learn more. And then once conference season is over for the regional conferences, it's going to be motivating everyone to focus on annual conference and get all of that squared away, because we have a lot of exciting things that we're trying to bring to the students at annual conference.
Sounds like a busy 150 days ahead. I can't wait to see how it shakes out. But sounds like the regional schedule is busy ahead, but what's going on with the SLT? What have you all been working on? What's on the ticket ahead?
Right. So for social media, we've been doing a lot of work there, putting together our plans for the year. But we do have a big announcement we would like to make. So we are super excited, very excited, super excited to announce our non-binary mascot, Casey the Cactus. There, right there on Cheyenne's screen. So Casey will travel the country on the way to Phoenix for the annual conference. Some fun facts for Casey includes long walks in the desert, loves meeting new people, and the preferred pronouns are they and them. Excited to have Casey with the team.
For me, a couple of the work team efforts that I have, so I'm on the Student Lounge work team. So the NIRSA 2020 Student Lounge work team is really trying to optimize our time and make sure students are getting the most out of their time as they stop by the Student Lounge for NIRSA 2020. We also want to make sure we're providing a really meaningful space for students to make connections, whether that's with student to professional, whatever it is. And we are also obviously working on finding some really good giveaways for y'all. And then Juliana and I have been working on a state student leader / provincial student leader development series. So the goal with this really is to have any state student leader or provincial student leader get the most out of their position, no matter what kind of role they play in their state association, whatever it may be. We want to make sure that each state student leader or provincial student leader is getting the most out of that position.
For myself, I'm working with the Give to Grow campaign. We're hoping that to gather donations to get students to the next annual conference in 2021. We raised the funds this year, and then hopefully that goes towards directly to funding for students for the next year, and then it continues. It was an initiative that kind of started before our time, but our student leadership team has fully embraced it, and hopefully we can get some more students to attend the conferences, because we all know that funding is hard as a student.
I get to help out with the mentor-mentee program with Juliana from Region 2. And so we've kind of done a little bit of rebranding. As you might have seen on our social media, we now call it the mentor/mentee program. But really this initiative is really really meant to help build someone's network for either a student or professional, help others go outside of their comfort zone, and really explore different areas of the country, different areas within rec. So be on the lookout for our next triple play, which kind of helps get the conversation started on Wednesday, October 2nd. And then if you're interested at all, there's info on the NIRSA website as well to sign up.
Awesome. That all sounds fantastic. Thanks for sharing. We're excited about getting involved. There sounds like lots of fun things going on, but we'd imagine there's lots of serious things as well being involved with the SLT. What are some lessons that you have all learned in your first 150 days? Cheyenne, we can start with you.
All right, so Casey and I, in our first 150 days on the SLT, have learned that people are everything. None of the things that we see happen in NIRSA would be possible without the people that are involved. Also, I would not have survived 150 days without all the people that I've gotten to know, meet, and interact with, because we all have a lot of things going on: school, work, life, cactus hangouts. Like, it's busy, so the people around me definitely support me in what I do, and that is extremely important. So I hope that from that, I can be that type of person for other people.
One of the lessons that I have learned is that I sometimes overcommit to things, and sometimes my schedules get messed up, and I need to learn when to say no.
I've definitely learned that communication is key. Helping bridge those connections and connecting students with professionals or students with other students, or kind of helping people understand that they do have a support system, is something that I've definitely learned and has come to fruition.
I've learned that you can't share everything, but you need to share some things, or no one can help you. So don't keep everything to yourself. Try to tell people what's going on so that maybe other people can pick up the work as well.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. I'm sure some of those lessons are things that people that are watching right now can take as well. So I'm sure similarly, there are a lot of people who are watching this call right now who maybe want to be in your shoes one day. If you could give advice to students who may want to be on the student leadership team one day, what would that advice be?
Yeah, for me, the biggest advice that I got was to be your own biggest cheerleader and hype man. Also, don't be afraid to dream big and reach out for help when you need it.
I think the biggest piece of advice for myself would be to reach out to us. It can be a little intimidating just because of the title, but no, that's our job. Is we love interacting with students. Even if we didn't enjoy it, it's a part of our job, so we have to do it. But I know that everyone on this call loves doing it. So reach out to us if you have any questions or just want to know more about the position or anything NIRSA related.
For me, I would say, like, don't be afraid to get yourself out there, and don't be afraid to reach out to us. Like Bailey said, we're here to answer any questions that you might have about the position, and we want to get to know you.
I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble with Nike, but just do it. It's an incredible experience to be a part of the leadership team of an association that stretches not only across the U.S., but internationally as well, with thousands of members.
I would say that you're already a leader, so this position will help you just make connections, learn more about yourself and your skills, but also how to help others who want to be in your shoes or just are following your footsteps. So definitely apply. It doesn't hurt at all.
I would say step outside of your comfort zone. You have a team that's cheering you on, that's supporting you, whether it's us, whether it's on your campus, but it's okay to be uncomfortable and it's okay not to be sure. But like Zach said, like, just do it.
I think my biggest advice to you guys, if you're thinking about applying, is honestly what everyone else says, apply, but really look at what you're doing on your campus. Because even if you don't apply, that's okay, but know that you can still make an impact on your campus and that you're already doing so. So adding this position is just continuing to further the impact that you're making.
Yeah, like everyone has said, you really just got to take that leap of faith. You got to do it. You really won't know what can happen until you try. And to reiterate, we want you to reach out to us. We are here for you. We would love to talk about what we get to do every day, every week, every month, everything. So reach out, ask questions, and let us know if you're interested.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for being a part of the call today. And thank you for everyone for tuning in or rewatching this call later. We appreciate getting the chance to not only get to know you better, learning about what you've been doing so far in the first 150 days of your terms, and getting to find out more about the SLT and what you've been involved in. If you have any questions for the SLT, like they said, they would love to get to know you all and find ways for you all to be involved with what they're doing, whether regionally with the team or on their campuses, I'm sure. So until next time, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time on Ret Chat. Be well. Thank you all.